The temple tax collectors approached Peter, their faces stern, their demand simple. "Does your teacher not pay the temple tax?" Matthew chapter 17, verse 24. It was a question laced with expectation, a quiet challenge to the man who followed Jesus. Peter, ever quick to answer, said, "Yes." But as he walked toward the house where Jesus was staying, his mind raced. How would they pay? They had no surplus of money, just enough for their daily needs. Yet, before he could even speak a word of concern, Jesus, knowing all things, spoke first. "What do you think, Simon? From whom do the kings of the earth take customs or taxes? From their sons or from strangers?" Matthew chapter 17, verse 25. Peter hesitated. "From strangers," he answered. "Then the sons are free," Jesus said with a knowing smile. The implication was clear. As the Son of God, Jesus owed nothing to the temple. Yet, to avoid unnecessary offense, he would pay. But how? And then came the most unusual instruction Peter had ever received. "Go to the sea, cast in a hook, and take the first fish that comes up. When you open its mouth, you will find a coin. Take it and give it to them for me and you." Matthew chapter 17, verse 27. A fish with a coin in its mouth? It was the kind of command that defied all logic. Yet Peter knew Jesus well enough to trust him, so he did exactly as instructed. The shoreline was familiar beneath his feet. The scent of the sea was in the air. With practiced hands, he cast his fishing line into the water, the hook sinking beneath the waves. He didn't have to wait long. A tug, a pull, and as he reeled it in, there it was, a fish, flapping wildly, glistening in the light. He opened its mouth, and inside, shining between its gills, was a coin, a full shekel, just enough to cover the temple tax for both Jesus and himself. Imagine the amazement on Peter's face. Out of all the fish in the sea, this one had swallowed exactly what was needed. What were the odds? No, this was no coincidence. This was divine provision. A simple miracle, yet packed with deep meaning. Jesus, the Son of God, was under no obligation to pay the temple tax, yet he chose humility over rights. He showed Peter, and all who would later hear this story, that God provides in ways beyond human reasoning. But let's take this a step further. Why a fish? Why not simply produce a coin from his hand, as he had multiplied bread and fish before? Because Jesus was teaching something more. Obedience and trust. Peter had to act in faith, go to the sea, cast his line, and receive what had already been prepared. How often do we worry about provision? How often do we fear that we won't have enough? Yet the same God who placed a coin in a fish's mouth is the same God who watches over our needs today. Perhaps your provision is already prepared, waiting at the right place at the right time. The question is, will you trust him enough to go and find it? Just as Peter found the coin exactly as Jesus said, we too can find our needs met when we step out in obedience, even when it doesn't make sense. God's provision is not always predictable, but it is always perfect. So, the next time you feel uncertain, remember Peter, the fisherman who found his answer in the least expected place because he trusted the words of Jesus. And maybe, just maybe, your miracle is waiting in the most unexpected place too. Will you trust him to lead you to it?